up, everybody? Welcome back to Designated. As always, it's your boy Nades, and thank you for joining me on another awesome video. Today we're going to check out the brand new Supergirl trailer that dropped last week. I know there's going to be a lot of awesome things to check out in this. I know we're going to see more glimpses of Lobo, the relationship with Clark, and with Supergirl. And we're going to see if James Gunn is really doing his thing on this, or is it going to be another bust. If you guys haven't, I need you guys to do me a favor and smash that like button, guys, and share this video out. That allows the YouTube algorithm to know that right here at Designated, we're doing our thing and that you guys are enjoying our content, and everybody can enjoy this content as well. But without further ado, guys, let's check it out.
Hey, I was just touching base to see when you think you might be coming back. You know, I'm just worried that you're not going to find your stride here if you keep going off-world all the time, Kara.
Woo!
I'm worried you're not going to find your people.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, Clark.
Look at Krypto. He's such a cutie. Look at him. This is the same story.
Home is wherever you are, buddy.
Pets are always the home.
Krypto and I at least had each other. Honestly, I thought we were lucky. But luck, almost by definition, runs out.
No.
What can I do?
We do not shoot at Krypto.
Carry the antidote on that person. He has 3 days.
You cannot give up on me.
It's the crime of the Yellow Hills. He murdered my innocent family.
Just do what I say. And don't die. This does not look like this is gonna end well. For you guys.
Stop.
What? They passed
Hurting
it
my
on.
head.
Woo! Look at him.
Revenge. It won't take your pain away.
Look at the bike.
Your eyes are beautiful when you cry. A lot of pain, huh? A lot of suffering.
Look at Krypto.
There's no home without you, buddy.
Aren't you the ditz from that dive bar?
Funny. That's what I've been calling you.
Touche.
626. That is right around the corner. That is right around the corner. So what do you guys think? It does feel very Guardians of the Galaxy like. First glance. The music, the way he cut the trailer, the colors, the speed of the trailer, the vibe of the trailer, the fun of the trailer. So this is basically Supergirl Guardians of the Galaxy. Right? Which is not a bad thing. I did enjoy some of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. I think the second one was my favorite with Ego. Right? I think the second one was with Ego. No, the third one. No, it is with Ego because that's when Michael Rooker was like, "I may not be your father, but I'm always your daddy." So like, you know, Mary Poppins. But yeah, let's check it out, guys. So there's a lot to unpack in this. And let's break it down. So we got awesome glimpses of Lobo in this, which was pretty dope. We got the 6th scene of the bar. Where it just turns into a whole brawl, which is pretty cool. I guess this is going to be exactly where we're going to meet Lobo. I know Lobo is a villain, but he's probably like an anti-villain in a way, because it seems like they're going to team up at the end of this. That's what it's feeling, to beat the other villain that's in this, which I'm not sure who that is. But it definitely feels so. But Jason Momoa looks amazing as Lobo. Here we go. Him coming in right. He looks amazing as Lobo, right? He finally gets to play the character that he's been dreaming to play, and he's nailing the look. He's got the size, he's got the hair, he's got the makeup, the white skin, the eye gouges, kind of like Deadpool. You know what I mean, like the shape. And he looks dope. As we see, we get to see him on the bike. We get to see him use the chains. Look at him. He looks sick. Let me see if I can get that other part right here. Look, him on the bike. The whole thing is sick. They're really going all out with Lobo in this, which is awesome. I love everything about this. I love the contrast of this. I love the pacing and how fun the trailer was, and how it's a different light. Because Superman was a little bit more serious, a little bit more comic book felt, but serious in a way that it was still fun. It was still had that edge to it, that comic bookness. But it wasn't as serious as like Man of Steel. It wasn't like Henry Cavill serious, where it was less like a brawn tone. Where it was more, this one had more fun, had more lightheartedness, more whimsicalness to it. And they're keeping that same aspect of that into this movie, which seems cool. And the fact that it's Supergirl, which is, she's more of a younger superhero, you know, she's got a little bit more empathy, a little bit more emotion, a little bit more tenderness, a little bit more care, especially with Krypto talking about family is with you. Wherever you are is my family. Is always going to be home. So she's an outcaster trying to figure out where she belongs, where Clark grew up on Earth, and he found his home with his family, with his mom and his dad. And then he grew up loving humans, loving everything about it, becoming human, owning that up. That was his whole arc in the movie. He's like, I am human too. I'm more human. I'm just as human as everyone else here. I grew up in Kansas. I grew up with the Clarks. I grew up, and I know what it is to be human. I may not be completely human, but I know what it's like to feel the way that you guys feel. I empathize with you. I connect with you guys, and I will do everything I can to take care and make sure you guys are safe, right? But this is I'm assuming is the main villain of this movie, which is this guy here. He could be part of Lobo's crew. He could be another like mobster that comes around, another gangster, kind of like biker galactic tribe that's in the movie. Maybe he works with Lobo, and then they have a fallout, and then now he's going after Lobo, because we see it, and later on in the trailer, that she's like, oh, aren't you the ditch from the bar? And he's like, oh, I could have thought the same thing, or touche, as I think is what he says. And it's like they're fighting together in this scene right here. They're fighting together with everyone in the background. So this is obviously the first scene in the bar is the first part in the movie, maybe early in the movie, first half, and then this is towards the end in the final arc of the movie, where they're going to combine forces and fight that guy at the end, which is what I can see. Maybe the next Supergirl movie leads into Brainiac, which is the main Supergirl story, which I know because of the animated film. I forget what movie it was, but it's the one with Supergirl, and then you get introduced to Brainiac because she comes here the same kind of way Clark did, and you get introduced to Brainiac that way, and he's the villain. But this is the main fight scene, I think, towards the end of the movie. See, because they're combining forces. Maybe they could both get captured, or maybe that's when the guy turns on Lobo, and the Lobo is like, nah, I'm not with it no more. And then we get introduced to this character, who we don't know who this is. Well, I don't know who that is yet. We're going to most likely see what kind of importance she has. Maybe she's some kind of key that the guy is looking for, because, you know, these kind of movies, that's always the person, the blood from that world person. Maybe she has the knife. The knife that she has is the weapon that can unlock some kind of thing that he's after. They do some dirtiness to Krypto, though. I don't like that. How do you shoot my man Krypto, and now he gets super sick? And so the whole arc on this is that's going to be the underlying problem that she's having. Krypto is on a time limit. He's got 3 days. Maybe he's going to, before he loses power, he becomes a normal dog. Or, you know, unfortunately, he passes on. And this is why she's doing other things. And maybe this is why she's also ultimately working with Lobo in the end. Because if working with Lobo gets her to her goal of saving Krypto, and maybe the guy has the cure to this and she needs to get something, maybe the guy wants her to deliver the girl in order to save Krypto. And Lobo comes along the way and tries to stop that. But it's a lot of different things. I love how awesome they make Krypto look in this. You get more of her backstory in this, which is what we were missing. This is when they shoot Krypto. Look at him. How can you do that to my mans? See, and then we get this. The brigades carry the antidote on their person. See? The guy with the dots on his face, like Killmonger, is over here. He got just like I said, he's got the cure to whatever he did to Krypto. So now that's going to force her to get whatever he's looking for in order to make an exchange. There's always an exchange, and now the exchange and the premise of this movie is Krypto, which is fun. It's a different take. It's a different entity. It might be more of a smaller movie. It might not be planetary or galactic base. It could be planetary in a sense, because like this, something's gonna destroy. So maybe it's just citywide. I don't know about planet wide. It could just be citywide. And the next movie for Supergirl can be planetary. Then the next one after that could be galactic. You know, small scope, smaller movie, make it bigger, like Ant-Man. That's kind of a bar, right? So Ant-Man, right, in his movie, he was very small. It was about that Pym particle, and then it was very citywide, but not even citywide. It was more like township wide, neighborhood wide. It didn't feel like it was like the threat was the planet was gonna explode. It was just gonna be a small little thing, and it could lead to that. But and they edged it on from there, and that developed more of a story with the characters. It developed more of a basis of the story, created its own little edginess, which ended up working out in the end. I love the first Ant-Man. But this one, look, see, it's a little bit after Clark. So this might take off directly after we leave off from the first Superman movie. Remember, she leaves with Krypto. Because obviously it doesn't happen during the first Superman movie, because Krypto gets taken away by Lex Luthor. And and then at the end of this movie, she goes and leaves with Krypto. You know, she was partying that entire movie. So maybe there'll be glimpses of the past, what she was doing during the events of Superman. And then this story is going to be taken off. Maybe she goes off to try to figure out where she is and who she is. But I like it, though. I have high hopes for this. Superman did do its justice, and it put DC in the right direction. So I'm hoping that James Gunn really knows what he's doing, and he's really showing the care. Because, look, Lobo looks amazing. Lobo looks phenomenal, and Lobo looks pretty comic accurate. So if this is the route that they're going to go, and the emphasis on creating a comic book world where everything is already established and everything's already intertwined in a way, and everything's more loving to the comics and giving back to its roots, awesome. And, you know, it's Hollywood, so there's always going to be deviations. There's always going to be little bits in here that they add, try to make it a little bit more fun, to kind of make the story work. Because, you know, at the end of the day, a lot of things don't always translate well from the books to real life. So those are the things that they got to work around. So let's see if James Gunn can really do his thing. If you guys agree, make sure you guys comment down below if you guys love James Gunn and the way the Superman direction is going, and Supergirl. Do you guys think this movie is going to be awesome? I do. But let's see what happens. But as always, guys, thank you guys for tuning in and joining me right here at Designated. My name is Nades. We got more coming from myself, Nades, and from Bistro. And as always, stay designated, stay blessed, and make sure that you know that you're loved today. And as always, I'll catch you in the next video. Deuces.